Are you afraid to do a 3-day sardine fast? So was I. So I have just finished a three-day sardine fast, which I consider a challenge since I'm not really fasting because I'm able to eat. And so I'm going to share my results and my experience. Thank you for joining my channel, Mentor Jessica. My name is Jessica Wolf, and I have been keto for over 10 years. And as of July 1st, I decided I'm going to go carnivore. And in order to help support that journey, I decided I was going to start the month, July 1st through 3rd, with a sardine fast. Why? Because the more information I found while I was listening to Dr. Lisa, Dr. Ken Berry, and Dr. Boz, been watching their videos, finding out I keep hearing more about sardines and how great they are, how beneficial they are, how they help jumpstart like your whole body, your whole metabolism. And it's like, okay, I've done the fasting thing. I've done 3-day water fast. And I figured and I've done 3-day water fast. And after 72 hours or more, I only lost like half a pound and didn't lose any inches, and extremely frustrated. I'm like, something needs to change. There's something going on. I need to balance something. It's hormones. It could be a number of things, but I know I need to do something different because just doing fasting hasn't been working. I've been at a stall for about 6 months, and it's like the same 5 pounds. I lose, I gain, I lose, I gain. And it usually takes me a couple weeks to get those 5 pounds off. Well, I got up this morning, weighed myself. I am down those 5 pounds. Lost 5.5 pounds. Inches overall stayed exactly the same. Now, I cannot stand eating fish. I don't like fish. So the thought of sardines really freaked me out. So when I started my fast, I waited quite a while before I had those first sardines. And they weren't as bad as I was expecting. So how I made them, no, I was not going to eat them out of the can. Actually, when I went to open the can the first time, I opened it a little bit, peeked in, and like, I don't want to see the rest. I just drained it, melted some butter. I put a tablespoon of butter with 1 can of sardines. So I melted a tablespoon of butter and in a pan, drained the sardines, opened the can, dumped them right in, started smashing them up without even looking at them because I wanted to disguise them so I didn't have that image in my head. Especially when I'm eating fish I don't really care for to begin with. So fried it in butter, only took like 30 seconds to just to heat them up. And then I would put Redmond salt on them. So I had a couple different seasoning salts from Redmond's because I love all their salts. And so I had a couple different seasonings that I put on and mixed in, and it was not nearly as bad as I was expecting. It tastes more like tuna than anything, but I'm not a fish person, so I really can't say what other type of fish. It just reminded me of tuna. So for the person who doesn't like fish, I'm not a huge tuna lover, but I can do like tuna salad or something like that. And it wasn't as bad as I thought. So I did have some sardines each day. So for the first day, I had sardines, 1 can. That's all I ate because I wasn't really hungry. I was more feeling a little dizzy and worn out and needed some energy. And a lot of that first day, anytime you're doing a fast, the first day, you usually have more hunger pains. The second day, I've usually been tired. Otherwise, I get to that 48-hour mark and then I have a burst of energy. The dopamine kicks in. So depending on when you start your fast, I started my fast in the afternoon. I probably should have just ate a big breakfast and started it in the morning before, but that's different. It's all depending on your liking. Usually I start my fast in the mornings. And this time I decided I was going to do something different since I was going to be able to eat versus doing a 3-day water fast. I decided to start my fast in the afternoon. If I had to do it again, I would probably change it up. But that's everyone's preference on that is going to be different. So the first day, I cook my sardines the same way each time. So the first day I had 1 can of sardines. That held me off. The second day, I also only had 1 can. And I think it was in the late morning that I decided to have that can. And then day 3, towards the end where I'm getting close to that 72-hour mark, I decided I'm gonna have 2 cans because I was hungry. I felt great. I had energy. I had no headache. The first day I had an onset of a headache in the evening. Woke up the next morning fine. Second day I had a headache on and off throughout the day. But day 3 I felt perfectly fine. I had no headache. I had energy, and I decided to have 2 cans in 1 meal. And when I was eating it, I regretted that I had 2 cans a little bit because I was kind of full. So I had 2 cans the third day, and then I woke up this morning, weighed myself, and took my measurements, and I was down 5.5 pounds. Now that's 5 pounds more than I normally have on a water fast, and I was able to eat. So to me, that was a plus. It is a type of fast I would probably do in the future. For me, it was a lot easier, even though I'm not going to say I enjoyed it. I'm not going to say I enjoyed sardines, but it was easier to get through those struggles and get through those humps when you felt hunger. And it was a miserable weekend to do this. It was hot, it was humid, so I couldn't get outside. It would be different. It would be easier doing a water fast if I could get outside, if it wasn't so humid, and if it wasn't constantly calling for rain and storms. And if I was able to spend more time outside and go on more walks or get yard work done, a water fast would have been just as easy, if not easier, for me to do than I felt when I'm stuck in the house. I want to eat, and my kids are eating, and it's like, okay, this is a way I could actually eat. So I liked that fact. Now, with some of the videos that I've been watching as I'm researching these sardine fast and how they work, different people have had a rise in their ketones, not necessarily during those first 3 days, but also after. So that's another point I forgot to say. I did measure my ketones. I was at 0 when I started on day 1. And this morning I was at 0.03. So I'm in nutritional ketosis. That is also higher than I normally would for a 3-day water fast. It usually takes me a while for my ketones to kick in. And on some of the research, so I'm hopeful, because some of the research and videos I've been watching have shown that after the sardine fast, the ketones will raise the following day. So I'm in high hopes that that is going to happen, and I will let you know how that works. I'll let you know if that happens or not. So I just wanted to share, if it's something that you have been debating on, you're like, I cannot do sardines, I'm going to tell you, if you can handle tuna, I really think you can handle sardines. It is not as bad. The smell, I can't stand any fish smell, so I'm holding it away from me as I am opening the can and draining it. And could I do it out of the can? No. At this point, no. And part of that is I don't want to look at them, and the smell gets to me. So when I cook them in butter. Now, after I cooked them in butter, I was sitting there looking at my counter and like, why didn't I use my bacon grease? That would have made it so much better. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do the next time, and see how the flavor changes using bacon grease, because now I'm excited to try this again with bacon grease instead of butter. Butter's great. I love butter. Bacon grease. Oh, I'm really excited to try that. So that is my update on how my 3-day sardine challenge went. And I will keep you in the loop on how these next days go. My biggest struggle is going to be probably staying away from all those sweeteners that get put into different things. So the only sweetener I haven't added any type of sweeteners or stevia, or I don't have sweeteners around my house. It's more to do with the sweeteners that are in seasonings and being very careful that making sure you have clean seasonings and clean ingredients. So while I'm doing this challenge, the only type of sweetener that I'm allowing myself to have is the stevia that's in LMNT. For anyone that needs electrolytes, highly suggest electrolytes. I love LMNT, LMNT. They're amazing. I'm not the type of person that likes to drink water, so I fill 32 ounces of water, ice water, and I add an LMNT packet. The flavored LMNT packets have some stevia in them. So, and that is the only sweetener I'm allowing myself to have, is the ones that are in LMNT during this challenge. It's a little bit of flavor I need, and I really do need the electrolytes. If you buy the unflavored, if you can handle plain water, if I had to do plain water, I would probably only drink 1 liter of water throughout a whole day, and I would end up dehydrating myself. I cannot stand drinking plain water. Even if it's sparkling water, it makes it more tolerable, and that's more of a treat. But if I add an LMNT packet, I can handle it much better. So that's what I've been drinking, and that's what I'm going to continue to drink in my water is LMNT. I am doing a transition, so I am drinking 32 ounces of plain water each day, but I'll transition, and I'll slowly transition to how many packets I use in a day. But I use 1 packet of LMNT in 32 ounces to help me. I need that little bit of flavor. That little bit of flavor helps. And I know I need the electrolytes, but the unflavored does not have any stevia. It's only the flavored options. So that is my update and what I'm doing. If you have any questions, go ahead, ask them in the comments, and I will keep you updated on how the rest of this challenge goes and what my results are. So, see you soon.